Got it.
Well, you see, Timmy, what the Cataloging Maintenance Center actually does is,
What exactly is the Cataloging Maintenance Center?
well, you see, Timmy, the Cataloging Maintenance Center, more commonly known as the CMC, catalogs library materials for all the libraries in the state of Illinois that fall under the category of local history, local authors, genealogy, and special collections, regardless of language. And they do it all for free. They also do training and database cleanup.
Local history? What is local history?
Well, you see, Timmy, local history is the study of history in a geographically local context, and it often concentrates on the local community. It incorporates cultural and social aspects of history. Let me show you a few examples. Here we have a DVD, The Roosevelt Cottage, which was cataloged for Roosevelt University for their FDR collection. The LeClaire book and the Nichols Sand Company book are both local histories, but are also written by a local author, Cindy Reinhardt. A few more Augusta stories is about Augusta, Illinois, and the 11th Annual Literary Congress of Clubs is about the Literature Society in Bloomington, Illinois.
So now I understand what local history is, but what is a local author?
Well, Timmy, a local author is anyone who lives, was born, went to school, or worked in the state of Illinois. Also, since Illinois borders so many states, we can also consider an author local if they live within a 50-mile radius of an Illinois member library.
Gosh, do you have any examples of local authors?
As a matter of fact, I do, Timmy. Lyricity is a music CD by Bill Harper, a local musician. The Mighty Spartan was written by Edmund P. DeRusse, a retired educator for the Illinois Department of Corrections, who lives in Southern Illinois. A Giggle Goes a Long Way is by Tammy Rogers, who is born, raised, and lives in Illinois. Peter the Hill is a memoir by June Morgan of Awakwa, Illinois.
Wow, that's really cool. I've heard about genealogy, but what do you mean when you say you catalog genealogy?
Well, you see, Timmy, genealogy is a study of families, family history, and the tracing of their lineages. Genealogists use oral interviews, historical records, genetic analysis, and other records to obtain information about a family and to demonstrate kinship and pedigrees of its members. Cataloging genealogy can be very difficult, as many of the items are written or compiled by individuals and are not formally published. But the CMC is very passionate about cataloging these items because fellow genealogists refer to the genealogical materials from other libraries to further their research. Let me show you some examples of genealogical items. These books rather speak for themselves. They are all family histories.
CMC really catalogs a lot of different things. So what is a special collection? Is it like my collection of bones?
No, Timmy. You see, Timmy, special collections can be many things. If a library has a collection of items that doesn't comprise the majority of their collection, those items can be considered a special collection. Some libraries have a collection of postcards. Some have a collection of photographs. Some have a collection about a famous person like Abraham Lincoln, or of a special program like the WPA. These collections are what make working for the CMC so interesting. Let me show you some of the interesting items the CMC has cataloged. On the left, we have an example of various postcards owned by Groff Memorial Library in Grayville, Illinois. The rest of these items are owned by the Dixon Public Library in Dixon, Illinois. They're a Rails library in the Rock River Library Consortium. The medals are for the celebration of the municipal airport. They also have a Lincoln penny and a campaign pin for Abraham Lincoln, an envelope commemorating the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln-Douglas debates, postage stamps featuring Ronald Reagan, who was raised in Dixon, Illinois, a ration book from World War II, the microfilm collection of the Dixon newspapers throughout the years, and photographs of the Dixon Public Library, all dated before the addition of the library in 1969.
Wow, the CMC sure is lucky to get to catalog such cool items. I especially like the World War II ration book. So what if a library has items in a different language? What do you do about those?
Funny you should ask, Timmy. Cataloging foreign language materials is another interesting thing the CMC has the privilege of working on. We have cataloged items in Spanish, French, German, Italian, Russian, Arabic, Japanese, Chinese, and Korean so far. Cataloging foreign language material is a challenge, but one that CMC eagerly takes on. Let me show you some of the foreign language items we have cataloged. As you can see, we can do almost any language. Nothing is too hard for the CMC.
Wait a minute. I thought you said you do training and database cleanup. I know what training is, but what is database cleanup?
Well, you see, Timmy, the training we do is a little different than the training you've had. The CMC provides one-on-one instruction and continuing education training via online courses, and this little thing we call Online with the CMC. You also asked about database cleanup. See, Timmy, database cleanup can take on many hats, but basically, the CMC can provide full-level records in RDA, which is Resource Description and Access, for items in the database that are currently not full-level records or are not cataloged using RDA. Did it again.
I love learning new things.
The CMC offers several online courses throughout the year, and we do 8 to 10 online with the CMC presentations on various subjects each year. One-on-one training is also available, as well as record review for any cataloger that would like a second look at the item they cataloged.
I understand this is database cleanup, but what's wrong with this record?
This record is not cataloged and use all the RDA principles. So we enhance the record using all the current MARC tags and RDA principles, thus providing the library with a full-level record.
I really learned a lot today about what the CMC does. I never knew how much the CMC does to help Illinois libraries. It's hard to believe that they can do all that for free.
Well, you see, Timmy, the CMC is funded through a grant from the Illinois State Library, and the state library wants everyone to be able to find what they're interested in, especially items that pertain to the state of Illinois. One other aspect of the CMC that we haven't discussed yet is metadata. Metadata is a different type of cataloging. Metadata is basically data about data. Let me show you an example of metadata. This picture shows Wayne Clapflutter presenting the keys to a Nash Rambler to a car winner, Mrs. Claude McDaniel. This was possibly in 1956, when a nationwide contest was announced by the Clapflutters. This building, as well as the buildings to the north and south to the alley on 5th Street, was torn down in the late 1970s to make room for the new Delaney Bank. This is part of the Marshall Public Library Digital Archives project.
I guess my only other question is, who is the CMC?
The CMC is a fine group of dedicated catalogers. Taking a quote from the TV show New Amsterdam, the CMC catalogers say, "How can I help?" Let me introduce you to these dedicated people. The CMC catalogers are Cheri Schuler-Faust, Mary Cornell, Heidi Margot, Eric McKinney, and our illustrious leader, Dr. Pamela Thomas. So you see, Timmy, the CMC is a complex operation.
Willikers.
We need to stop it. I can't stop.
There we go.
Did you stop it? Oh, here, stop recording.